It's time to spill the tea. Hello!
You there, and welcome to A Spoonful of Theatre.
And this is another one of our Spill the Tea podcast reviews, where we review a piece of local theatre right outside the theatre foyer. I'm TJ, theatre director and practitioner.
And I'm Sam, a teacher of language, literature, and self-proclaimed show business lovey. And TJ, what have we just watched?
Well, we have just watched The Trials by SRT Young Company. Yes, right here at the KC Arts Centre. Now, this the Young Company is SRT's Young Division. It is a training ground, and many of the actors that we see on our Singapore stages have been through the Young Company over the years, and it's helmed expertly by Dan Jenkins.
Yes.
So I love coming to watch their productions. I watched last year's. I've watched actually many over the years, and I really enjoyed tonight. But Sam, what did you think?
Oh, this is a gift to a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
It is an absolute gift to a teacher of literature, a teacher of drama, a teacher of geography, of individuals and societies, if you're an IB teacher. It's just an absolute gift because it does what theatre should do, which is to start conversations. But that in there starts a lot of conversations from many different angles, and I was absolutely gripped, and I was having internal debates, and I was coming at different angles and brilliant.
It's just really clever writing.
Yes.
Because it's obviously aimed at Gen Z, Gen A, performing it, but it basically talks about the climate crisis, ladies and gentlemen, and kind of presents it back, and kind of puts kind of our generation. It says anyone basically before 2018, I think it was in the script. Anyone before 2018 and their climate emissions
footprint
and their climate footprint on trial, and says that basically they are the problem. So that's us sat there, and to see this generation performing this work to an audience and posing those questions and kind of reflecting your choices back at you was really powerful. And I agree with you. I was really sat there asking myself these questions and kind of, at times going, well, no, that's not me. And then going, actually, wait, that is me. And especially, there's the artist one, and there's basically they put 3 people on trial in the script, which, by the way, was performed excellently by 3 amazing professionals that kind of lent their talents to this.
Yes.
Well done. A quick shout out to you guys, because that was absolutely amazing. But overall, it was just really great writing. Really well performed, I thought, and I had a great night in the theatre.
It's so timely. It is so timely in that respect. I mean, right now, all the news channels are talking about the super El Nino that started. I'm flying to the UK in a couple of days, and already the BBC is screaming about a heat wave that's going to be 35 degrees, and I'm already melting just thinking about it. But it asks a lot of questions. It asks questions: whose fault is it? Can you blame 8 billion people for the same behavior? Do you blame the factory owner, the 1%, or the people that were working in the factory, or the people that were buying the goods? Do artists, are they to blame for what they do or what they don't do? Are parents simply for having children? Are they to blame? On the flip side of that, there's those debates that are Gen Z, Gen Alpha, teenagers, are they qualified to make those judgments? And the performances on that stage tonight rose that question so well. There was raw emotion, there was biasness, there was irrationality, there was rationality. And TJ, we've talked about these debates politically before. In some countries like the UK, there are debates of whether 16-year-olds should have the right to vote.
Yes.
Now, you and I can talk about that forever. Are 16-year-olds rational and intelligent enough to be a jury.
Yeah.
Now, we're also in Singapore where they do not have jury trials. And so that there's an interesting aspect to it as well. It's so nuanced and so deep. I could talk about it forever. Just wonderful.
So, shall we jump into the performances and the creative aspects of this? So, just to reiterate that this is performed by the Singapore Repertory's Young Company. So, that is young people, I think. I can't remember the age. I think it's all the way up into your 20s you can join. And it's really a training ground. A lot of the theatre companies in Singapore have them. This is a really well-established one, and you can really see the level of training and the level of detail. And what is just so lovely is that these young actors get the chance to perform. It's not just a few things put on stage. It's a really well-crafted production.
Yes.
That could have just been professional actors on there.
Yes,
Like the sets, the level of detail was exquisite, and I think Dan has crafted a really wonderful production with his production team here.
I will happily say that tonight I don't think I saw an amateur production. I could quite easily have believed that was a production done by professionals. It was so expertly staged, and multimedia and sound design and performance, it could pass off easily as a professional production. So kudos to everybody, to the performers, to the crew. You've really pulled out the stops with that one, and really good.
I think what I really loved about this particular piece is that there was 12 performers on stage, and they were on stage almost all the time. And I'm a huge fan of ensemble theatre. For me, ensemble theatre, I just love seeing groups of actors working together. But especially for younger actors, being on stage, reacting, finding things to do is a real challenge.
Right, yes.
Having worked with many young actors over the years, it's not the lines that's usually the problem. Those can be worked on, those you can give directions. It's, are you in character when you don't have a line for 15 minutes? And I would say that majority of people on that stage tonight were. So that is a real skill. And actually, that's the thing that I think you all should be most proud of, that together you gave that stage life. And there was no one out of character kind of picking their nose in the corner and things. Everyone really was reacting and interacting with the scene the whole time. So well done to everybody for that.
I quite agree. And there were different characters on the stage tonight. Like, if you are a classroom teacher, you do have those different personalities.
Oh yes.
And I was seeing a class of kids.
Yeah.
I was seeing those different personalities, and there were two standouts for me. It was Josiah, who played the character of Tomaz, if I remember rightly, and Roy, who played the character of Chris. Roy played I'm going to say the blur kid, the blah, 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 I don't care, I'm more interested in girls, I'm here because I'm here. He played that really well, to the point that I really didn't like him. I didn't like him.
Nothing personal.
Nothing personal at all, but I really didn't like him as a character. And then Josiah as Tomaz, that kid with imagination, that kid with make-believe. He got the biggest laughs of the night.
Oh yes.
Which again goes to the writing, how you can take the darkness and still have that little bit of levity. And Tomaz, Josiah, bless you, really delivered that. Well done. Any standout performances for you?
Oh, absolutely. I think somebody who I think we're going to see on Singapore stages in the future definitely was Amira. Amira, who played the antagonist in the play. Really an amazing energy, because that sort of character you can easily get locked into just angry the whole time.
Yes.
There was lots of lovely layers to what she was doing, and really kind of listening and responding, and also somebody who, when I did draw, when she didn't even have a line, was really thinking of what to do in between and was fully embodying the character. So I really, I'm going to say this on the podcast now, I believe we're going to see her on that stage as a professional in a few years' time. So I'm stating that right now.
Right.
Don't let me down, Amira. No pressure. And finally, my other one was Lena, who was kind of almost playing opposite to her quite a lot of the time, and it kind of became the central kind of guiding character in the play. I thought Lena did a really good job with that role. role and kind of really listening, responding, and won't do the spoilers, but towards the end of the play, really her emotions and her reactions to the plot twist at the end really kind of almost choked me up a little bit at the end.
Yes.
So really, really good job to you. But I would say that everybody overall really had strong moments throughout the cast.
Yes.
And everybody should be super proud of your work. And this is, training in amateur theatre, and all I say to all of you is every single show you learn by doing in theatre.
Yes.
You can't just read a textbook and become a good actor.
No.
So you should all be super proud of your work, learn from it, question what could I have done better, because there's always something we can do better, and keep working on your craft, but well done to everybody.
What about the production?
Love the production. The set was beautiful. Absolutely loved the set. Great use of lighting on the set as well, and also the projections that they did for the people on trial. Really, really great job. So amazing production, and so great to see that level of production for an amateur production.
It was real professional quality in terms of the staging, in terms of the lighting. The sound design was wonderful. That I really believed in that universe, that space, that world. I really loved the projections, that it gave beautiful context. I would say it was a little bit too westernized, but then it is a Western text. And there was a moment that really choked me up, is when it had a quote from the legend that is Sir David Attenborough.
Yes.
I was that, or the tears started coming on then. But it was beautiful that it really, really placed the context of the state of the world at the moment. I will give one niggling note. And the thing is, I can't put my finger on whether it was deliberate, or whether it was a detail that was missed, or whether it's part of the discussion, because there is a part of this discussion of teenagers that are screaming about becoming vegan and the climate crisis and eating avocados and toast and that sort of thing, yet are still using TikTok every day, that uses energy, that uses power banks and things like that. And where my niggling note on the stage was shoes. They were all wearing branded, well, not all of them, but some of them were wearing branded sneakers like Nike, Adidas, Vans, New Balance. And it's like, where are you to judge a generation on causing the climate crisis when you are using and wearing branded goods? Again, is it part of the conversation? Is it a detail that was missed? Or is it because it was amateur, they don't have the budget for costume, wear what you want?
I would say that if they were already made before the trials and nobody's made them again, then they're using them to recycle, and they're using them again. And this is the debate. This is the conversation, and we're going to go discuss this over dinner now.
But do you know that's good literature?
It is. It's great.
People have been debating Shakespeare and Marlowe for hundreds of years because of details like this. What is the meaning of you wearing a pair of Vans on stage and judging me, a 40-year-old, on my carbon footprint?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Is it? I don't know.
Great.
Anyway, now then, ladies and gentlemen, as you know by now, when TJ and I go and see a production, we usually give it a rating out of 5 spoonfuls. However, because this is by definition an amateur production by a youth company of Singapore's production companies, we are not going to do it on this occasion. However, we do want to say that you have done an absolutely marvellous, marvellous job. Isn't that right, TJ?
Absolutely. Keep it up. Great work. Thank you to SRT for all that you do for developing the next generation. And to all the actors, we cannot wait to see how you grow and develop. And hopefully in a few years' time, you'll be in a production where we will give you a spoonful.
Right, my tea's gone cold, love. Shall we leave it there?
Let's.
So it's cheerio from us. We'll be back soon.
And a hurrah from me.
And to the cast and crew of The Trials.
And to anybody else performing in Singapore theatre,
Break a leg.